what's going on? The San Francisco 49ers rookies will be reporting to camp. That's right, training camp. We're less than a weekend away. We got the NFL's top 100 to discuss. How many 49ers are going to make that list? Stick around right here on the Wayne Breezie Show. Smash that like button, baby. What's going on, 49er faithful? It's Monday. I love touching down on Mondays. There's something about Mondays. It's the beginning of the week. We're refreshed. We're recharged. We got our turbo going. I'm full throttle right now. But thank y'all so much, man. A round of applause for everybody that's been rocking out with me this off season. It's been a long off season because the 49ers started their off season a lot quicker than what they should have last year, going freaking 6-11. You know what I'm saying? But what's going on, faithful, man? Welcome to the Wayne Breezie Show. Truly appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you guys go ahead and do what you've been doing all this time. If this is your first time watching the show, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. And make sure you smash that like button. That's super important. Likes are great for the Wayne Breezie Show, for the algorithm right here on the YouTube. You can also join and become a member of the Breezy Bunch crew. All right, I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. But follow on X, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook at The Wayne Breezie. Okay, at The Wayne Breezie. Also, you can follow my new page, food page. We're going to be doing some food stuff, influencing at Breezie Eats. All right, at Breezie Eats. And I will be creating the YouTube channel. If I could get to over 500 followers on Facebook and Instagram, I'm going to create that YouTube page. All right, so make sure you guys give me a follow over there. All right, again, thank y'all so much for tuning in. You can also support right here with the Cash App and the TWBEN sign over on PayPal and Venmo as well, if you feel you want to support in that way. All right, so thank you. And don't forget, please check out the podcast if you're listening. Thank you, guys. You know what? Round of applause to just people that don't like the way I look and they just want to listen, which I rather watch me in the way I look than listen to my voice. I really don't like my voice, but appreciate that. Subscribe, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, man. I wasn't a fan of Spotify. You guys know I'm an iPhone, Apple guy. I think Spotify is kicking Apple's, asparagus right now on the music tip. I'm just putting that out there. YouTube music, you coming up, YouTube podcasts as well. It's there on YouTube podcasts as well, so you can check it out there. Don't mind me as I sip my water. Poland Spring, some of the best damn spring water out there. I know it's not available for everybody, but just trust me. Don't forget to check out our partners over at residency.com. Use that promo code SFBreezy, and you can save on your total purchase. And for my members and those that support on the Patreon, I'm dropping the bomb on you guys. You guys are amazing. The content is being created and generated. You guys will be getting exclusive content. So I appreciate you for holding down the Patreon. But if you want to support and get the exclusive content, all right, go to www.patreon.com/The Wayne Breezy. Now, before we get the show started, I wanted to shout out all of the members of the Breezy Bunch crew. You guys are the reason why I'm able to hold down what I hold down. So I appreciate you guys. And if you want to become members, all you got to do is click on join now. I did a members only show once a month. They're getting a members only Q&A show. And some of the questions were all of the questions were phenomenal. All right. A lot of them were 49er related. A couple were not, which is fine. It's a Q&A show. Nice little 30-minute show. And I was super excited to just be able to answer the questions. I see a lot of people do mailbag stuff, and I just wanted to sit there and just kind of wanted to answer some of the things that were going on in your head, your thoughts, your things like that. So I wanted to appreciate all the members before I do a quick member shout out before we get the show started. So thank you, members. And speaking of members, we got a quick morning shout out. Shout out to 49ers_throwback says, good morning, faithful. Please hit that like button. He's hoping everybody's weekend was great. Jax is gracing us with her presence. Like, subscribe, join, hell, do it all. I love that, Jax. Also, congratulations to Jax for being a member for 26 months. Dang, that's 12 months in the year. 12, 24. So 2 years and 2 months. I did that really quickly, I wanted to put that out there. And we have a goals thing going on because I will do a Q&A show for the public, for those that aren't members, but I got a goal for super chat. So we get 5 super chats on today's episode. I will schedule a live Q&A show, 30-minute show for everyone here that just subscribes to the channel. All right. So Jax is kicking that off with not 1 but 2 super chats. And so Jax, thank you so much. Appreciate the 2 super chats. Well, let's go. The Queen will start it off. Now y'all know y'all got $5. Stop being cheap. Nobody's being cheap. If you got it, you got it. If you don't got it, you don't got it. Not here to beg or anything like that, but I do appreciate those that do or can support monetarily. It's super appreciative. All right. Shout out to Peachy. Good afternoon, and everyone have a great show. Peachy, 27 months. Round of applause, man. 27 months. And Peachy, this is where we reset the channel. So like that was kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of dope. We reset the channel. So definitely appreciate you. 27 months. All right. Brandy in the building. What's going on, Brandy? I see you out there. Colin in the building as well. All right. As well. And all the other members that are here, I'll try to shout you out at some point during the show. Just trying to scroll the live chat. If you're there, if you're here, I do appreciate you for being members as well. Tanisha, sister in the building. What's going on, Tanisha? Good to see you. And let's talk about this because training camp is about to kick off. Literally July 15th, the rookies are reporting to training camp, not mini camp. So we got training camp going on. And just a quick follow up on some of the dates that are going down for the San Francisco 49ers. Training camp, July 15th. The rookies report July 22nd. The veterans report. Looks like the 49ers are going to have a full throttle, full present training camp. We do know the players that are dealing with injuries that aren't going to be ready or participating by training camp. We'll recap that as we get in more into that. Well, I believe hopefully Marcus Siegel will be able to go. He was one of our draft picks. He should be good to go, recovering from the sports hernia that he had. But we do know about some of the other veteran players like the Malik Mustafas, the Brandon Ayuks. That'll probably start the season on the PUP, but we'll wait till we get reports. You know what I'm saying? We'll wait till we get those reports just to see how well they're coming along with those injuries or whatnot. And don't forget, August 7th is Dwight Clark Day. So I got to make sure. I think I have a Dwight Clark jersey. I think I do. I'll make sure if I go live that day, I'll be wearing that particular jersey. You know what I'm saying? And support and represent the man with the catch. You know what I'm saying? The man with the catch. All right. Don't bother me. What's going on, baby? Good to see you, man. All right. Thanks for tuning in. So that's what's going down. Not really much, man. I'm excited, And you know what? Let me ask you guys this question. How excited are you guys for training camp to kick off for the 49ers? On a scale of 1 through 5, 1 being 5 being most excited, put it in the live chat. Let me know how excited you are for 49ers training camp to kick off. And don't right. And then the second question, part B of the question is, which player, you can't pick both sides, but which player are you most excited for entering training camp 25? All right. So give me a number 1 through 5, and then which player you're most excited for. All right. Now, my man Joe Hendricks over on Facebook. Shout out to the Facebook community. It is growing. I love you guys over on Facebook. Joe Hendricks says he's a 5. Right. He's a 5 right now. He's super excited. I mean, listen, we've been waiting. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've been waiting. You know what I'm saying? And then not only, and I like this, not only is he super excited, right? Number 54, because Fred Warner is just going to bring it all. You know what I mean? It's going to bring it all. He's just going to bring it all. I think he's going to bring everything he brings to the table, far as leadership, far as energy, far as, he's just going to bring it all. And that's what I love about Fred Warner. And he continues to just trend upwards. We'll talk about him on this top football 100 list, because where should he land? We'll talk about that in a little bit. Boats, what's going on with the hashtag BB? Rob says 2.5. Really, Rob? Really, man? 2.5? That's it. So you half of excited. I could dig it. Don't bother me. 5, because football season is here. But 2, because we always lose someone in training camp. Yeah, it gets weird, right? I'm going out on a limb saying that the 49ers are going to get through training camp relatively healthy. I truly am. I really believe that they're going to get through training camp relatively healthy, and they're going to be just fine. One of the reasons why I feel that way is because they got younger, and I'm not saying younger players aren't, they can't get injured. I just feel like their bodies are built a little bit differently, right? They might not have a lot of the nagging injuries, especially if they're coming into camp healthy, and particularly younger players are probably going to play hurt a little bit because they really are trying to make the roster. We're talking about trying to make the 53-man roster. I think it's going to be more tough than what we've seen, you know what I'm saying, over the past few years. Not a lot of spots going to be given. These spots got to be earned. Boats voted 5. Tanisha, I'm hella excited. I need some type of football activity. I go for 5. Yeah, not only do I need football activity, I need my Niners. I'm tired of watching players work out. I'm tired of watching players enjoy their lifestyles. I want to see 49er football, at its finest, like from camp all the way through the season. I'm going through withdrawals. I won't even put on an old 49er game and rewatch it. You know what I'm saying? Stephanie says a 5. I could dig that. Steph 5. Joe says 5.5. 5. 3 5s. You know what I mean? Fred is said the player. Oh, Boat says the player Pearsall and Jennings will have breakout seasons. Love these reactions. I love these. Things are lined up perfectly for them. Hey, and I'm curious to see how I feel like Pearsall, health-wise, is going to be the man because they don't really know much about him. Juwan Jennings, I feel like when it comes to Juwan Jennings, the league is probably going to be like, we can't let the Niners activate that young fella because then he dominates, right? So we're talking about 50-50 balls. Juwan Jennings is pure domination. Finding ways to get open in the slot, pure domination. I mean, Juwan Jennings is an electrifying player for the San Francisco 49ers. And so I feel like this year teams are going to prepare to kind of like not take him out, but like just game plan for Juwan Jennings. And that's dope. If a team game plans for you, that means you have become the right. You're trending up. Like they're looking to bring you and take you out. So I'm not saying Juwan Jennings won't have another phenomenal year. Quick question about Juwan Jennings. Is this the year he breaks 1,000 yards? Put it in the chat, live chat right now. Don't forget, we got the extra show going on where we'll do a call-in show for you guys if we can reach that goal. So you guys want to call in. A lot of people love to call in. We'll do a call-in show where you can just jump on and get your takes off and stuff like that. If you want, man, go ahead and participate. We need 3 more $5 super chats to make that happen. Jack's already kicked it off. Shout out to Jack's, not with 2 of those super chats. Who's going to be the 3rd, 4th, and 5th so we can bring you that show. Also, let's talk a little bit about, will Juwan Jennings be a 1,000-yard receiver? It's going to be something interesting. Boat says they complement each other's skill sets so well, quick, fast, big, and strong. I think the thing I like about Pearsall and Jennings is I feel like they can play the X, the Y, and a little bit of the Z. I trust Pearsall more in the Z form, as the Z back out of the backfield than I do Juwan Jennings, because Pearsall just has the speed. But don't sleep on my guy Jacob Conway, and don't sleep on the free agent signing of Demarcus Robinson. I think the Niners wide receiving core is underrated. I truly don't. I truly do. Justin says I think he will. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Jack says, she was talking to Boats. Oh, my bad. 17-0. I could dig it, though. 17-0. Ring that bell. You know what I'm saying? Don't bother me. JJ does not break 1,000 yards. And this is why I asked the question. And I like it. Everybody's to each their own. He does not break 1,000 yards, especially if Christian McCaffrey is healthy. Should we boo Don't Bother Me, or should we respect the good? Should we give him the boo, or should we give him the applause? I think he's right, though. I think the team is one football. It's one football. And the team has to find Brock. Brock is going to have probably one of the hardest jobs that he's ever had, because now he has to figure out not only how to distribute the football, but do it in an efficient way. And goal number one needs to be to win games, period. That's the goal. That's the ultimate goal. It doesn't matter who gets the ball. I don't care if it's CMC. I don't care if it's Juwan Jennings. I don't care if it's Ricky Pearsall. I don't care if it's Kyle Juszczyk. Winning the game is the most important goal. You know what I'm saying? Like, winning is the most important goal for me. So you could be true, man. You could be 1,000% true. Eddie G and the B Dogs in the building. 28 months. Right now, it sounds like Eddie is the longest member of the Breezy Bunch crew. Shout out to my man, Eddie G and the B Dogs. Breezy, love you, bro. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Woo, I found like sipping water is very beneficial. It makes my voice still sound, regular. I'm not high pitched all the time. You know what I'm saying? And it's room temperature. I don't even drink room temperature water. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. I truly don't drink room temperature. Oh my gosh, I have the wonderful Miss Cynthia in the building. Can we give her the air horn, y'all? Hey, hey, hey. Thanks for being here. And my brother Dion is in the building. Now, he's not a member, but this is my brother. So at the end of the day, I got to show him love. Niner Gang Podcast in the building. Yo, D, we haven't had anything to disagree on. We got to figure out, pick something, bro. Like, I feel like we are not good unless we're disagreeing on something. And we have nothing to disagree on right now. I think we're so anticipating what's going to happen. We just nothing really to disagree on. It's so funny, but good to see you, man. Oh, I got a question from Don't Bother Me. Do the 49ers defense rank top 3 in takeaways? Are you kidding me? That's a tough question, because in my opinion, the secondary is young as right. It's young. All right, let's look at this, right? Because what helps the 49ers defense kind of rank up there in interceptions? Well, my personal opinion is Fred Warner's ability to cover. Like his drop back game, pause, is ridiculous, right? And so when he has, it's so many factors to me that and we're just talking interceptions. I'm not talking about forced fumbles, all that type of stuff. So all of that gets put in here, but it's a possibility, like in takeaways, not interceptions, but takeaways, it's a possibility. I mean, you're bringing back Robert Saleh. You got Nick Martin, who has been literally the understudy of punching out the ball like Fred Warner, right? And so now you got two guys that are really focusing to turn that ball over. I think you got guys on the defensive front that could turn the ball over, that could force fumbles. Forcing the fumble is one thing, recovering is another thing. So I prefer getting interceptions, but when I look at our secondary, I'll be like, dang, man, I don't see Deommodore Lenoir getting a lot of picks, because I just feel like he's going to be a lockdown. I think Deommodore Lenoir is going to be an island guy. This could be the year for Renardo Green, because we're going to play a lot of quarters defense still. Like, I feel like quarters defense is what the Niners are going to play. In my opinion, it's just kind of like how they play, a lot of cover 3, So we're going to see. But not having Malik Mustafa out there early, to me, is probably going to hinder the secondary a little bit. So again, like, I don't know if they'll be top 3 in takeaways. I think that's going to be rough. I just want them to be a top 10 defense. Am I lowering my expectations a little bit? I mean, I don't know. I'm going to leave it. I don't know. I'm not going to say yes. I'm not going to say no, because I want them to be, bro. But it's going to be tough, because you're asking for a lot of factors to factor themselves in. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So we'll see what happens. We got another super chat contribution on the live show. Jax Knox says, I guess I'll do it so I can call in and talk the whole show. Wow. You'll get all 30 minutes. You got 2 more. You do 2 more, you get all 30 minutes. All 30. It'll be a Jack Knox call-in show right here on the Wayne Breezie Show. Now, if y'all don't want to see that, y'all better pay that $5 because if not, it's going to be that. Now, I was just playing, but thank you, Jax, for the super chat contributions. Appreciate that, My brother Jerry says, I'm still worried about the D-line. Look, if you're worried about the D-line, you're 100% okay. It's so it's not something we've seen before. It's a piece that we're comfortable with, super comfortable with, Nick Bosa. And then it's question mark, and the rookies. And then it's the depth, which we're not too probably fond of. I mean, you got Kalia Davis, you got Jordan Elliott, you got Sam Okwanu, you got some depth there. I do like him. I like Evan Anderson. Is he trending up? You got Kevin Givens they brought back as a free agent. So the depth is there. But I get the question mark, and then the question mark is going to be Bryce Huff, and then the question mark is going to be, can Yetur Gross-Matos stay healthy, and if so, will he give the 49ers some upside out there on the defensive front? And then how well will this defense contain the run? It's a lot, man. God dang it, Jerry. I ain't mad. I'm not mad at you at all. I kind of understand where you coming from, dog. DeMarcus, what's good, bro? I totally understand where you coming from. It's it's one of them things. Well, I got to believe it. I got to see it to believe it, and I'm not mad at that. I think that's fair. I'm optimistic. I feel like they're going to be just fine. And here's my reasons. One, they got younger on defense. That means they got faster. They got more ferocious. They got more tenacious. They got dogs. So they dogged up defensively, not just in the draft, but even in free agency, when going out and trading and getting Bryce Huff in the trade, that's dogging up, right? I felt like they dogged up in free agency. Now, the question is, the main question is for the 49ers defensive line, can those guys stay healthy? That's the main question. And if so, I think they're going to be just fine. All right. Jax Knox with another super chat contribution. She's 4 for 5. She's 4 for 5 right now. Are you guys going to allow her to be 5 for 5? Our defense will be top 5. I said I only wanted top 10. I'm cool with top 10. You know what I'm saying? Top 10 for sure. I'm cool with that. Ronnie33 in the building. Shout out to our member. He says, let's go. The defense will be fine. We got solid. And I think a lot of us are so comfortable in saying that. Like, you know what I mean? So comfortable in saying that because we are so confident in Robert Saleh, even with getting young players in here. Yeah, I think that's so dope. We got over 200 people watching this show live. Appreciate you. Just wanted to give everybody a round of applause. Boats. This might be the question of the day. Will we get a special teams touchdown this season? It's been ages. Now, can somebody get the last time? Was it Ted Ginn Jr.? Was that the last 49ers special teams touchdown for a return? Was that Ted Ginn Jr.? Because I know it wasn't Richie James, and he might have been the closest. So please let me know out there in the show. Will we get one? Look, new coordinator. And you know what? My expectations for this new coordinator, Brent Boyer, my expectations are through the roof. I do. And he specifically got some players that he feels can help, benefit the special team. So I'm going with a heck yeah. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going with a heck yeah. Y'all let Jack Knox get a whole 30-minute show to her say, y'all must just love the way she talk. All right, cool. Jack, thank you for the super chat contribution. Just wanted to show you some appreciation. I'm the one and only. All right, so I didn't expect to read that, but you're going to get that. All right, so appreciate that. I thought he had one too, DeMarcus. I felt like he had one. I want to make sure I'm not wrong. I know he had a bomb-ass game. We had like a bunch of touchdowns and like 155 yards or something like that. I know 176 yards. I know he had a big game. Can't remember if he had a special teams. Christian Carver, what's going on, man? On Twitter, watching live. I love it, man. If the 49ers can get at least one special teams touchdown. That would be beneficial. Now, I got a poll question going on right now. How many players will make the top 100? We're going to talk about the NFL top 100. All right, so how many players will make the top 100? Now, look, last year, the San Francisco 49ers had some dogs on this list. We're going to kind of like recap the dogs on the list. So how many players will make the NFL top 100? Now, look, a lot of people don't really care about this. This is pretty much for the 49ers. This is pretty much just the players voting for players. You know what I'm saying? Voting for the players to, get on the list. Now, look, there's going to be some Niners that aren't going to make this list in 2025. And you guys, I'm here to, make you understand why, right? Don't expect Christian McCaffrey to make this list. Don't expect some of the players that were on this list last year to make the list. Now, let's go ahead and take a quick look at last year's, who made the list. We'll scroll through the list and kind of see who was there. Right now, I believe they're like in the 80s or something like that. So that's a good sign. I guess the question is going to come down to, where does Trent Williams fall on this list? Does he even make the list? That's number one. And number two, does Juwan Jennings crack the list? Right? I feel like Juwan Jennings may get snubbed. That's just my personal opinion. Why didn't break 1,000 yards, even though he was the Niners' leading receiver? But should he make the list? I guess that's the question, right? Should he make the list? Now, the poll question, you got 4, 5, 6, or 7 and up. Right now, the poll is winning with 5 players making that list. So if you are one of the people that chose 5 players, please put in who the 5 players are in the chat. All right, so just a quick clarification. Ted Ginn Jr. was the last punt return for a touchdown, and the last kick return for a touchdown was Richie James. All right, so kick return for a touchdown was Richie James, according to the wonderful people out there in the chat. All right, so I just wanted to put that out there. All right, so let's go ahead and get through this list just a little bit, and just give me a few more minutes of your time. Now, we're going to go to Wikipedia, all right, and we're going to take a look at it. All right, so let's go down as much as we can just to see which players from the 49ers made the list. And we're going to see, you guys can put thumbs up or thumbs down if they're going to be higher or lower. All right, higher or lower. So far, nobody late for the 49ers. This is 2024's list too, by the way. All right, so I just want people to understand, like the Niners were cooking. They were headed into the season cooking. Now, Brandon Ayuk was the lowest player at 66 in 2024. He had 75 receptions, 1,342 yards, 7 receiving touchdowns. He was a second-team All-Pro. I'm asking a question. Will Juwan Jennings be replacing Brandon Ayuk with this, not at 66, but at least in the top 100, all right? So let me know if Juwan Jennings is going to replace them on this list. Now, if you were one of the ones that voted for 5, I will be reading your comments toward the end of the show. I'm going to try to star as many as I can. So my question right now is, will Juwan Jennings make this list? Brandon Ayuk clearly isn't going to make the list, but Ayuk in 2024, if I'm not mistaken, let me just double back, was the first 49er to make the list. All right, first 49er to make this. And I'm checking because I'm trying to see if Kyle Juszczyk was down there late. Nope, I'm wrong. Dre Greenlaw was the first 49er to make the list at 76. We all know Dre Greenlaw's not going to make this list this year. Didn't play much of last year. I feel like this is where Juwan Jennings is going to end up, in the 70s somewhere. That's just me personally. All right. So does Juwan Jennings make the list? You guys let me know. All right. In the chat. Boat says honorable mention. Damn. I feel like he should make this list. Call me Kugu for Cocoa Puffs, but I feel like he should make the list. All right, so now we're going back up to 66. So that's 2, and I said we had 8. So you had Dre Greenlaw, you had Juwan Jennings. Dre Greenlaw, Brandon Ayuk. All right, and let's keep scrolling because I want to see who from the Niners is next, and will that person make the list? So that'll be the first question. Will they make the list? And then we're going to see if they're going to be higher or lower. All right. Deebo Samuel. Damn. 30. So we know Deebo's not going to make the list for the Niners this year, right? Because number one, he plays for the Commanders. We got a bunch of yeses for what you call it, my man, Juwan Jennings. All right, so 49ers had two receivers make this list, Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. So I think if you take 31 and 66 and averaged it too, maybe you get Juwan Jennings placement this year. I'm really pushing for Juwan Jennings to actually make this freaking list. Like, you know what I'm saying? But some feel like he's going to be honorable mention. Like J.D. Durham says 101 to 120. He might be in that range, honorable mention. And Boat said that as well. So we got Deebo Samuel. So that's 3 49ers. All right, now we on to some money players that are still with the Niners. We know Brandon Ayuk is on the IR this year. He's with the Niners, but he's on the IR. Dre Greenlaw's with the Denver Broncos. Deebo Samuel was traded to the Washington Commanders. Brock Purdy, number 28. All right, so number one, first question, does Brock Purdy make this list? Thumbs up if he makes the list, thumbs down if he does not make the list. Now, I'm going to be honest, if Brock Purdy doesn't make this damn list, we're going to have some problems. I understand he wasn't the same Brock Purdy we saw, but going into 2025, I don't think statistically he wasn't that bad. I just feel like our record sucked. And, he didn't throw as many touchdowns. If he had 30 touchdowns to those 12 interceptions, it'd be a lot more Brock Purdy love going on, in my opinion. But it was 20-12, so I totally get it, right? I totally get it. All right, we got a thumbs up. Ronnie33 with the thumbs up. J.D. Durham, thumbs up. Stephanie Neal, thumbs up. All right, so do you think he's going to be higher or lower than 28? Higher or lower than 28? Type in higher, type in lower. What do you guys think? And if I'm not mistaken, this will be the fourth player that made the list from 2024. You guys got higher or lower? Let me know. I personally, I feel like he's going to stay pat. I feel like he's going to be right in that 28 range. Justin says higher. Okay. Ronnie says lower. God. Like in the 60s, really? That's tough for me because that means you're saying there's a lot of other players that are better than him. And I feel like, far as quarterback-wise, that's tough. Now, I will incorporate Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels. Those, to me, were the two rookies that had pretty damn good seasons. They did a lot with their team. And so they might get a little bit more fanfare from their peers out there. But I don't know if he's going to be down in the 60s. Whew. Boat says lower, like top 20. I'm probably asking this wrong. So I'm probably saying lower, meaning he's going to be less than 28, or higher, meaning higher than 28. I think that's kind of what I mean. But Boat says top 20. Love it. All right. Peachy says lower. Feel like the league's not showing him any respect. Don't bother me says higher. Okay, I could dig it. Wayne, you're missing the part of Brock. What part of Brock am I missing? The bad weather games? Or the fact that only person he had that he could rely on was Juwan Jennings? Help me out. What part am I missing on? Maybe I'm missing on both parts. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm missing on both parts. All right. Jack says higher. All right. I like it. If he is higher, I kind of have him in that top 25. So the question is Brock Purdy, per his peers, a top 25 player in the NFL? And, with his peers, is he a top 25 player in the NFL? That's what we're about to find out. That's why I like this list, because we're about to find out. All right, let's get to the next 49er on the list, Nick Bosa. So does Nick Bosa make the list? Thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm saying he makes the list. He was 27th on this list. And you could put it all in the same chat. You could put thumbs up, higher, thumbs down, lower than 27. I feel like Nick Bosa should be a top 25 player in the NFL. So I'm going to go higher. I definitely feel like he's going to make the list. It's Nick freaking Bosa. You know what I'm saying? It's Nick freaking Bosa. And he still finished with 10.5 sacks last year. Okay, I mean, it's not 20, but it's a lot. It's double digits. You know what I'm saying? So I still feel like, he's still that dominant player. Jack says lower for sure. Are you talking about Brock as far as I don't know. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. JD Durham says yes. Ronnie stays the same. Yeah, I could feel it. 27, kind of like staying pat. 10.5 sacks. 34 solo tackles. He did his thing. He did his thing. But I'm curious to see how his peers. But I feel like Nick Bosa is top 25 for sure. I think Nick Bosa is a top 25 player too. I think the 49ers have 5 players that are top 25. I'm probably the only one person that thinks that. You know what I'm saying? Only one person thinks that. So I'll be me. Steph says higher. Bosa top 30. Okay, so you have him falling a little bit. I can dig it. I can freaking dig it for sure. All right, but Nick Bosa's making the list, and I believe here is the 5th on this list, right? And so we got Brock Purdy, we got Nick Bosa that made the list in 2024. So that's 2 players so far. Let's keep it moving, baby. Let's keep it moving. We looking for more 49ers. Okay. Oh God, we getting into the tops of the tops. George Kittle, 14. George Kittle, number 14 in 2025, moved up on the list. Okay. Do you guys feel like George Kittle is going to make this list? This should be a hell yeah. Like, this should be, yeah, like, come on, Breezy. Like, this is not even a question. So I'm going to overall say yes. But the question is, does he finish in the top 10? Now, I'm not asking you, is he going to be higher? I want to know, does George Kittle make the top 10? Okay? Top 10. Okay? Let me know, because I'm curious. To me, George Kittle was the best tight end in football last year. And you could say that I'm a homer. But statistically, he was slightly, if I'm not mistaken, behind Brock Bowers, who I think is going to be the top-rated top tight end going into 2025. So George Kittle will be the second, in my opinion. But is that enough to be in the top 10? All right. Is that enough to be in the top 10? All right. Let's look at some of these answers real quick. Boat says depends on how the other side does. He's talking about another different question. Peachy says Kittle should be top 10. I could dig that. Ronnie, yes, top 10. Jax, I agree for sure going into this season. Boat says no on Kittle, top 15. Ooh, and then JD gives us the range. Ooh, y'all spicy on this morning, baby. I like it. Y'all spicy. Look, Justin. Look at Justin. Kittle, top 10? I doubt it. He's in our hearts, but I don't think he gets the respect. You know what? This is a round of applause right here. This is the fact that you you know what? How does the best tight end in football get disrespected? Can somebody answer that question for me? How are you the best tight end in football and you still are one of the most disrespected players? It's got to be the team. It's got to be the team. It's got to be the fact that he plays for the Niners. George Kittle, top 10. He going to ball out. I feel like this is what's going to happen, though, because you got other players that are going to probably be in that top 10. Think about the quarterbacks. Think about the quarterbacks that are going to be pushed into that top 10 category, which will bump George Kittle down. So maybe he stays pat at 14. Fred Warner. So that's 3 players right there, right? I said Brock Purdy, Nick Bosa, George Kittle. Fred freaking Warner. Is he a top 10 player? He was 11th last year. He was 15th the year before. Does Fred Warner crack the top 10? Put it in the chat. Let's talk about it. Now we're talking about not the second best tight end at the position or second best player at a position. There's no other linebacker in the league better than Fred Warner, right? No other linebacker in the league better than Fred Warner. And if I see another linebacker ahead of Fred Warner, it's going to be some problems and some repercussions, because Fred Warner is by far the best off-ball, just the best linebacker in the freaking league. Like, you look at him. Now, He was 11th last year. He still led the team in tackles this year. He still almost led the team in damn turnovers this year. And you look at Fred Warner, and he was all pro again. So how, first team too, by the way, how does he not creep into the top 10? And the only way is going to be from these freaking quarterbacks. I guarantee it's going to be these freaking quarterbacks. Edward also says yes. Ronnie says not top 10. What? Okay, I'm sorry, Ronnie. You didn't give an explanation, so. You didn't do like my man earlier. He gave the caveat, you know what I'm saying? Peachy says yes. He should be definitely best linebacker. Oh no, Ronnie now is saying top 10. I'm my bad. I read it wrong. My bad. I didn't see that. Jack says, I do agree it's going to be tough. Top 10 and played hurt. Let's talk about it. He got first team all pro and played on a bum ankle. Justin, these comments are dope. Again, the superstars we have, the league doesn't quite acknowledge how amazing they are. I just, hold on one second. The league doesn't quite acknowledge how amazing they are at their positions. There's no better than George and Fred. What boring first names, but amazing players. Yeah, George and Fred, they sound like cartoon name characters that we are like, so we grew up watching, Fred and George. But they're the best at their positions. Look, all right, let's ask the hypothetical question. Is Brock Bowers a better tight end than George Kittle? I'm asking, and I know we are 49er faithful, but and I'm asking that because I will say that offensively, Bowers had a better season than George Kittle, but overall as a tight end, I don't think he's a better tight end. The Raiders couldn't run the ball. Let me explain what the Raiders are going to have to do. They got a running back. Well, they got a type of running back that can kind of create lanes in with his own space. So I don't know how much they're going to need Brock Bowers to be a blocker. But we're going to find out how well he blocks this year. Because if they're trying to do outside zone, some of those passing, it's not going to be there. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be there. Now, did he have a better receiving season as a tight end? For sure. Dude had like 8,000 receptions for like 25 more yards than George Kittle, like if I'm not mistaken. Like it wasn't even that much. But my point is, when you look at George Kittle, he's overall the most respected tight end. We haven't had a tight end earn this type of respect. Travis Kelce would be before George Kittle, and I feel like we weren't talking about another tight end to this magnitude. Rob Gronkowski, Travis, it's Kittle time, baby. I just feel like it's Kittle time. Consistency is there. He's efficient. What more do you want? I feel like it's all about George Kittle. And he got the extension. Shout out to George Kittle, man. He got extended. 49ers throwbacks, my brother from another mother. He says, Wayne, the best tight end in the division is Kittle and McBride. I'm not going to argue, man. You know how I feel about that. So, but the thing, here's what I like about McBride, right? McBride is the target guy, right? This guy is going to get the targets. He's probably going to get the receptions. But you know what he couldn't do? He couldn't score. That mother couldn't get into the end zone to save his life. Matter of fact, his first touchdown came like during the fantasy football playoffs. Bruh, I need some touchdowns. And so if you know what I'm talking about, because you guys play fantasy football, and don't forget to check out this year's season of What's Your Fantasy, hosted by Crystal Peachy B and myself, that was bothering me because I had him. He wasn't getting no touchdowns. It's not like he getting 12 targets a game for 150 yards. I like Trey McBride, though. I'm not going to stunt. That's one of my favorite tight ends. Not going to lie. But those are the best tight ends in the NFC West, to your point. You know what I'm saying? To your point, those are the best tight ends in the NFC West. All right, let's get back to this list because we're almost done with the list. We are at number 11 on this list. And Fred Warner. All right, I feel like the Niners are only going to have one more player, and I said that there were 8, so I'm trying to figure out who that last Oh, no. Okay, we there. We reading. All right, Trent Williams finished. Trent Williams in 2024 made this list at number 7. Now, the question is, does Trent Williams make this list? And is he going to be higher than 7 or lower than 7? Now, I want to put this out there. I do know that Trent Williams didn't play a full year last year, but he was still one of the top-rated tackles in the league pre-injury and post-injury. I mean, he still was up there. That's crazy to me. Now, in 2023, he was 7th. In 2024, he was 7th. Does Trent Williams find a way to make this list at 7? Does he stay pat? Does he go higher? There's no way he should go higher. But wouldn't that be crazy if Trent Williams made this list and stayed at 7 on an injured season? If that is the case, that's how dominant and respected. And remember, this isn't from the fans, guys. This list is generated by his peers, by the players that play in the league. I think Trent Williams might end up still being in the top 10. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? Now, where a lot of people feel like he's going to be, Trent will be solid, but 80 to 100 range. Now, where are we currently? Does anybody know? Has anybody been following the because I think we're in the 80 range. I think we are at 80, maybe 79. I'm not sure. He made that first wave. You know what I'm saying? I think he's going to drop out of the top 10, but that's just me personally. That's just me personally. I think he's going to drop out of the top 10. We got a lot of lowers out there. Peachy says he's going to drop. Ronnie says yes, but a little bit lower, the top 10 because of the injury. I agree with this, but this would be kind of crazy how I feel like we talk about there are 2 players, in my opinion, and I could be wrong. There are 2 players that people don't give 2 flying what team they play for, and these 2 players are Trent Williams and Christian McCaffrey. I feel like they are respected, and I wonder if that is because their careers started on different teams. I feel like Trent Williams and Christian McCaffrey are 2 of the most respected players in the NFL. Like, they did it on worse teams, and then they were high productive on the San Francisco 49ers. That's kind of cool, right? Like, that's a cool thing to have, you know? That's a cool thing to have, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. That's kind of like what I'm thinking, you know, but we'll see what happens out there, all right? We'll see what happens. Sin said he will make the list but be much lower than 7. I'm cool with that. Making the list from his peers or for the injury season, I'm cool. I'm cool with that. I feel like, and I'm not saying he didn't decline. I'm not saying he didn't look worse. He had a bad game or 2, but he also didn't come to training camp. He also wasn't in the right shape. He also had mentally, he was out of it. I'm willing to cut players slack for certain situations. And, you know, when you lose loved ones, that's tough. You know, never mind the physical stuff, like losing loved ones. That's tough. So mentally, I don't even think he was really here. He was just kind of like playing through the emotions and, you know, trying to finish out the season. Then he physically got injured, right? But I think Trent Williams is that respected that he'll end up on this list somewhere, possibly top 20, top 25. We'll see. All right, and the last player, Christian McCaffrey, who only played in like a game, all right, who only played in like a game, was number 3 on this list. So that changes it up because I feel like, you know, Saquon Barkley, Tyreek Hill is going to be down, Lamar Jackson, Myles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson, these are going to be top players. Chris Jones probably still. Josh Allen's going to end up in the top 10. TJ Watt's going to end up in the top 10. Max Crosby had an injury season. He shouldn't be top 10. I'm just looking at players that I feel like are going to bump up. Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl champion, he might be in the top 10. So it's going to be interesting to watch. So, man, listen, stay locked, man, because I'll be putting out, once the 49ers make it, you're going to get my reaction videos as YouTube shorts and stuff like that. We're going to have some fun with some of the NFL content that's generated around the 49ers this upcoming season. And I'm excited for everything that's about to go down. Just a quick recap. Training camp does kick off next week, July 15th. All right, training camp will be in full swing for the rookies. The rookies will report, get whipped into kind of like shape real quick, and then be ready for the vets to arrive to where they're going to look to have some standoffs, man. I'm excited for these rookies. I truly am. I'm excited for these rookies. I feel like the team is young, but the team is going to be ready and popping. I don't think the youth is going to hinder this team that much because I trust the coaching. I trust the coaches with their coaching. Like I just trust what they see in some of these young players. And when I go back to when Robert Saleh was here and, drafting Dre Greenlaw, drafting some of these guys who got opportunities their rookie seasons, they made the best of it. And we love Dre Greenlaw. We loved everything about him. I think Nick Martin is going to be one of the steals in the draft. I think he's going to get his opportunities, and he's going to go out there and never freaking look back. And I'm not saying we're not going to miss Dre Greenlaw. I miss him already, but we got a Nick Martin now. So I'm excited to see. We got D. Winters. I'm excited to see the development from some of these players that we already drafted. When you draft players, this is a little tidbit. When you draft players, you're drafting players that has a unique set of skills. And some players are going to take longer to develop than others because some players won't have the opportunity to go out there and right away, right? Because how do you learn from your mistakes? Oh, I know, you got to fail, and then you learn from it. And the quicker you learn from it, the quicker you can pass the test. Not everybody passes the test with flying colors. Everybody has to go through in football, man. Look, players need reps. I'm key on saying that players need reps. But it's hard when you got players already filling positions that aren't giving the opportunities of those reps. And the only time those opportunities come is if there's an injury. So the Niners got rid of a lot of players that were going into contract year. They moved on from those guys, They let some players go, and they filled in with a lot of young, vibrant, talented football players. And so special teams should be better. Defense is going to be better just from a coaching standpoint. And look, Kyle Shanahan is the number one offensive play caller in the NFL. Yeah, I said it. God dang it. You know what? I'm going to stay on that. I'm going to big myself up. And this year we're going to find out how and why. Welcome back, Christian McCaffrey. Welcome back to this offense. The only key piece this offense really lost was Deebo Samuel, and you guys were over him after the first drop of last season. So, look, Aaron Banks moved on to Green Bay Packers. I think the Niners got that spot filled in. That void is going to be filling in very shortly. Shout out to Jax Knox again. I believe we made that super chat go. We got all 5 super chats here for the goal. We're going to do a live call-in show with Jax Knox. So y'all better thank her because we're going to do a live call-in show with her and for her. Also, let's get to the poll question real quick. Y'all suck because I asked for y'all to vote and we only had like 44 votes. But anyway, 5 is the number. So I wanted to end the show with some of the people that picked 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So DeMarcus, Trent, Bosa, Fred, Kittle, and Brock will make the top 100. Don't bother me. Demo. Ooh, we left him out. You got 6 players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. All right. I'm. You know what I should have asked? Does Demo make it over Juwan Jennings? That would be a dope question to ask. I'll ask that on Twitter. Joe says Kittle, Bosa, Demo, and Ready Freddie. I like Ready Freddie. That's kind of dope. All right, that's kind of dope. So, and if you guys picked 5 as well, you know what I'm saying? I do appreciate that. I didn't see those. They probably passed by because y'all talk too much. And then I wanted to end on the show. My man, 49ers score throwback. Wayne, I also like what Eric Armstead said about Brock. He ain't wrong. I tell you what, I'll check it out and see what he said about Brock. These are players that actually play with Brock Purdy, so I kind of like those perspectives opposed to players that don't play with Brock Purdy, like your Brent Joneses, your Joe Montanas. And I know we respect Joe Montana and the legends that have worn his uniform, but they don't play in today's game. It's a little bit different. And I believe Brock Purdy has the it factor. I think we just need to see him go out there with a rapport built. I don't think it comes down to the players being super dynamic or whatever. That helps. I just think not having that rapport built, not having the timing understood and corrected with certain players, I think that's what hindered Brock Purdy. And a lot of the plays that were made were to the people that he trusted, which was George Kittle, right? And a lot of plays we didn't get a chance to see would have been to Christian McCaffrey, but he wasn't available. Deebo Samuel, a lot of drops, right? And not utilized in the short playing game, the yak game, which we were so used to seeing Deebo playing. No Brandon Ayuk. A lot of big plays to Juwan Jennings, a lot of deep air throw yards down the field from Brock Purdy. So that's a good wrinkle to have in the game. I think this year, in my opinion, when I look at Brock Purdy, guys, I think we get back to efficiency, which keeps the chains moving. I think that would be my motto for today. How 49ers need to keep the chains moving. Guys, you've been real ones. Shout out to all the members of the chat. One more air horn to you guys. Again, special thanks to Jax for the Super Chat goal, for helping us reach that Super Chat goal. Miss Cynthia added to the Super Chats, too. I just happened to see this. Thank you, Miss Cynthia. Says, I picked 4. My bad. Nothing wrong with 4. Nothing wrong with 4. If you picking 4, though, who did you snub? I'm curious to know. Who did you leave out? And thank you for the Super Chat. My man 49er Jeff, Fred, Huff, Kittle, Bosa, Brock. That's the starting 5 right there. That's the starting 5. Do you guys feel like Demo and Juwan are going to be honorable mention players? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they're like 101, 102. How crazy would that be? But for those that pick 4, who's getting snubbed? And for those that pick 7, woo, we on our way to heaven. I like that. Again, thank y'all so much for tuning in. All the Super Chat contributions, I truly appreciate that. You guys are real ones. Till next time, baby, keep it faithful to the Bay. It's your boy Breezy. And don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. Peace.
What's up, faithful? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And make sure you check out some of the other cool videos.